What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? I know everyone is having a legendary week. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope everyone had a blessed holiday. We are, of course, going to go ahead and review this Niner Christmas dub. Your boy was there, had a blast with Bubby. Amazing. Was not the greatest game to watch offensively, but it's a win. So I had a blast. Anytime we win, I have a blast. Okay, but before we get started today, we of course got to remind everybody to help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link is in the description of the podcast or video. Go ahead and stay tuned to the end of the show to get your special 10% coupon code for the Faithful by the Faithful Season 2 apparel, like your 49ers football t-shirt. Go ahead and visit SeatGiant.com and use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as to help out the show. Follow us on social media. Jason does a bang-up job on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. Make sure you catch Jamie and Jason this week at this Friday at 7 p.m. here on the West Coast for NFR Weekly News Wrap. And catch our game day shows. I'll be going live at noon here on the West Coast. Jason will be live at halftime, and Jamie will be going live at 9 p.m. here on the West Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
What's cracking, Jason? How you doing, bro?
Not too bad. How you doing, brother?
You know, legendary. Any day you wake up winning 8 fucking games in a row is a legendary day. We of course match the winning streak. I don't know. You put an asterisk by it because we obviously started the season 8-0. This is a little different, but I mean, there were some legit questions about Kyle Shanahan this year. But to have our second 8-game winning streak under him, I mean, you know, you read the records. I've read them off to you before. He's now has a winning record against the NFC, winning record at home, winning record on the road, you know, winning record in primes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think that it's time to say it's competing time. You know, I think it's time to say we made the right hire. Could we do better? Of course, you probably always could do better. But I don't think there's anybody I would take Kyle Shanahan over right now of anybody that's going to be available.
Yeah, I think, you know, like you said, we heard a lot of talk, and I think we'd even discussed that a little bit when it comes to especially the play calling side of it more than anything else. Like some of his play calling was kind of suspect for a while, and then whatever, you know, sometimes you need to get your ass kicked to remember who the fuck you are. I think that Kansas City ass whooping woke a lot of people up. And it came at the perfect time, I
think. And you know what? To me, you know, when we're looking at the grant, obviously, you know, we're all very well, I shouldn't speak for anybody else, but I was pretty depressed that Tuesday, you know, that Monday, especially. But, you know, as we look back, it's almost good because it shows you if we go on and ultimately end the quest for 6, I'll point to that moment like I would point to after the Philadelphia loss in 94. You know, Steve basically wants to fight George Seifert on the sideline. You know, we all know the story. We're not going to rehash the story. but I feel that it was clearly we were punched in the mouth. But what makes me more encouraged and the most encouraged about it is that we've clearly responded the right way.
Yeah. Like I said,
And that's all
sometimes you
can
just
say.
got to take an ass whooping. You know what I mean? Like, me as wrestling, it took me because a lot of times I wrestled kids older than me because I couldn't, because I was a lot bigger than the kids my own age and stuff like that. So,
Ditto.
you know,
For
so
certain
I didn't
things.
realize it's like I had to get my ass kicked to get my head straight. Like, look, I'm not as good as I think I am. I still have shit to work on. And I think that's all that just happened. You know what I mean? Just everybody was flying a little high, you know, coming off some of the, you know, the off-season hype for how good this team was. Yeah, we lost to the Bears opening weekend, but you can chalk that up to being, you know, just, you know, the weather game basically. You know, we played in a damn monsoon. And then the fluke thing against Wilson, you know, Jimmy's first game back with pretty much what, a week of practice at that point, you know, and then, you know,
if that.
So you're still probably okay. We got reasons to do this. Then you get your ass kicked on national TV, and you're like, wait a minute. Let's take a look at this. Maybe we're not what we really think we are. Oh shit, that'd be amazing.
There's also a slim possibility path to face the Cry Girls in the NFC Championship game and the Chargers in the Super Bowl. It's 94 all over again. You know, at that point, I would fucking, I would, I don't even know the right word to describe if the NFL did not allow us to wear the 94 throwbacks. You know, in the Super Bowl night, like seriously, it has to happen. You know what? If like,
I don't know how those rules will work.
You got, because to me, my thing is, yes, of course, you're gonna sell Super Bowl jerseys, but it's, to me, I mean, I don't have the numbers to back it up. Just my eyes and you, Jason, going to a game in Levi Stadium and also seeing a different city, you know, on game days. To me, I would say the 94 throwback, the red 94 throwbacks are the most popular selling jersey.
Oh, by far. It's not even, I don't even think it's a competition. The only ones that came close, I think, was that 1 year with those ugly ass black jerseys, and then they disappeared. Which I'm so glad they did. I'm so glad those are pretty much gone.
See,
but overall, I think those are easily. I wouldn't have minded the black if there was more gold on it. That was my biggest. There was like next to no gold on it. You could have done highlights and gold.
That's That's the thing I felt most, is that they could have added the gold, but of course black's my favorite color. So
yeah, like I said,
but ultimately
put some gold shade on there.
To listen to my opinion, because most people who I'm not the people the Niners are going to listen to, because I didn't buy one. You know, so a lot of people said you love them so much but didn't buy one. Yeah, there you go. I have a black jersey of Jerry Rice. See, there you go. Honestly, the one I really, really wanted was a black cap one, but I couldn't find it. All right, a little bit of housekeeping before we go ahead and break it down. Everybody already knows this, but I feel that we should do it on the show. Nick Bosa, Talanoa Hufanga, Juice, George Kittle, Fred Warner, and Trent Williams have all been selected to the Pro Bowl. Jake Brendel, Robbie Gould, Christian McCaffrey, Ray McLeod, Debo, Charvarius Ward, and Mitch Wisnowski were all selected as alternates. Now, I know that the CMC, yeah, well, obviously Trey Greenlaw. I was just going to get to that. CMC is a starter. I mean, like, Vine, you could argue what he was doing out Carolina, but I mean, what the fuck is he doing on the Niners? Even though yesterday, by the way, just casually had a touchdown yesterday. I mean, how many games in a row is that he has a fucking touchdown? Yeah, I mean, clearly.
But he was carrying Carolina.
Yeah, well, he clearly, look, he was clearly Carolina's best player. By far. Wasn't even close.
Even when Cam was on the team, he was the best player.
It's going to be easy to say, oh, Christian McCaffrey saved the season, and I won't deny that, at least that he saved the offense. I think that's very, very clear. You know, we would not be where we're at without Christian McCaffrey on offense. But I think the D, you know, not giving up 70 yards rushing in 7 games in a row. What was it, holding a point to, like, you know, the second half shutout streak, all that probably had just as much to do with it. personally. But to say that Christian McCaffrey, especially if we end the quest for 6, isn't one of the best trades in franchise history, not the best. I will always look at the best trade as Steve Young. But, Freddie
Probably one of the best in-season trades of all time. Even right now, you can almost argue.
Yeah.
You're probably, you can argue the whole thing with Jimmy for that trade, but, the same season, no, it's not even a compete.
Especially considering
I argue with people in Discord all about it. They still think that we paid, and we might have paid over the value of him, but to me, it's invaluable what he's brought, especially when you look at how the amount of more points we're scoring now compared to them. There you go. So, yeah, exactly. We're just
28.1 points per game. Johnny, do you know what we were averaging before? I can't look it up. I can't remember. But, I mean, if you could clearly see the difference before CMC, after CMC, especially with that Yams win. He basically won us that second Yams game. 22.3, I think. Okay. 22.3, 20.3. Yeah. So that's pretty much touchdown a game.
Yeah.
That we've averaged since he's been here. Like, I mean,
and we've gone from 340 yards a game to 396.
Is Christian McCaffrey one of the best players in the NFL at the running back position?
Yeah.
Then that to me is and what upsets me the most about it is it was players and coaches. That's what upsets me the most about it. Dre Greenlaw, I just don't know what to say. Like, I feel the disrespect, but to me, I'm like, whatever. You know what? We'll be busy that week getting ready for a more important game than basically what equivalent.
If we had a pissed off Dre Greenlaw in the playoffs, I'm okay for it. Disrespect the man some more. Ooh. Disrespect Bosa some more. Challenge him. Let these boys get mad. I don't give a damn what you got to do to get. If this is, like I said, if we get an angry Greenlaw and an angry Bosa in the playoffs, man, that's going to be damn.
It's the Shanahan effect. People assume the excessive seasons. Yep, yeah. I totally agree with that. But to me, to me, then okay, I can understand that. But then point to what he was doing in Carolina. What has he done throughout his career? I can understand if he was an average running back at best. Before he got here. Or we picked him up as a free agent or something like that, and then all of a sudden he started having his success, i.e. Raheem Mostert, i.e. Matt Breida.
I think it's because he had the injury.
I believe Carlos. I believe Carlos is. I'm sorry.
I think it's because he had a couple of years of injuries. People don't realize how productive he was when he played full seasons and healthy. People are like, because he did have the one big injury, and then he got hurt like the year after, or was the year before, it's vice versa. So he missed a year and a half-ish kind of a thing, and that's when everybody got the doubt in on him. But when he was healthy for those 2 or 3 years before, he was just carrying that team.
And what frustrates me now, I'm not going to pretend like I know the league well enough, but I don't believe there's anybody more deserving. There's not somebody like if Micah Parsons happened to make it over Nick Bosa, just for example, right? And there's just like 2 players that were having Nick Bosa type seasons, and you say, hey, they gave it to him. You can make an argument for that at least, but I don't see an argument for anybody making over CMC.
No. He's got more yards than. Let me find it. He's got there's 3 or 4 more running backs that are going to the Pro Bowl that he's averaging and has more yards than him. Let me see if I can find it.
But yeah, I agree with you. And I will say this. Were we lucky that Dre Greenlaw signed before the season,
yes.
During this, oh my God.
How many times we talk about, as good as his defense is, we were going to lose somebody just because we can't necessarily pay everybody. And
I was ready to choose Aziz.
Yeah, we both kind of thought it was going to be Greenlaw who got the short stick on that. And now it's like, I'm so glad we signed that one.
I'm so, which I want to make this clear. I love Dre Greenlaw. He was my rookie to watch. Man, nobody is happier. You know, we win the Super Bowl this fucking year. I'm getting 57 jersey that says Shecock Killer. You feel me? Like, man, it's the Shecock Killer, bro. Anyway, so also we signed Curtis Robinson to this practice squad and waived Trey Swilling. Just a little tidbit here. Also, before I forget, I want to get to this because I want to give the man his propers. I have to get it out of my gallery.
All right, hold on. While you do that, we'll look
Here we
at
go.
that real quick. Here you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Christian McCaffrey has more yards than all three of these guys, and they're all going to the Pro Bowl.
Saquon Barkley is a name. That's name.
I mean, these guys
That's
are all good
strictly
running backs. I'm not going to say any of them.
I mean, they're
terrible.
good running backs, but he got it because of his name. But Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders, would you trade Christian McCaffrey straight up right now for either of those running backs? Fuck no.
Oops.
No. I wouldn't.
And then, you know, it's like I said, it's just
Okay, so I have it.
we always get disrespected.
I
in the
have it
national
right
media
here.
Bullshit.
Ray McLeod, 71-yard rushing touchdown, the longest run by a wide receiver in 49ers history, the longest run by a wide receiver in the NFL since 2016. Yeah. That to me, that was clearly Kyle said on the post game, like that was the Debo play. That was exactly the same play we ran for Debo.
Yeah.
We've
How many
seen
times have we
Debo
seen
take
Debo
that to
run
the
that
house,
over and over?
but that looks so pretty that do we need to run Debo on that play anymore if Ray can do it like that? I mean, at
Ray,
this
maybe
point,
we could
because
use-
it's clear Ray's faster than Debo.
Hell, we could run
Ray's
that with
faster
CMC.
than Debo.
Run it with fucking Kittle. I'd love to see Kittle on an end around.
I just got football boner right now. I just started thinking.
Well, we
about
still talk about the
I
play
just
we
started
wanna
thinking
see
about
where
what
we-
you could do with
Where you put like Kittle in the backfield or Trent in the backfield.
Bro, you know what
Jason
just-
Poe.
You know what just popped in my head? You know what just popped in my head? That meme that you sent me, where it was like
I see the lot.
Trent Williams, CMC in the back, and it
Oh.
was like
I know
motion,
what
and
you're
it's
talking
Kyle
about.
like, pull it up, bro. Pull it up.
Motion. I know what you're
Oh my
talking
god,
about.
that's motion.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
It was
That
like
was-
Kyle fucking Shanahan said T. It was like literally one of the funniest memes I've seen of all time.
that was one of my favorite ones.
I
Oh,
almost
man, I gotta
pissed
go-
myself, and like my girl, I showed her, and of course she didn't get it, but I was like, "Trust me, babe, if you got it, it'd be like the funniest meme of all time." Okay, while you're looking that up, the Niners have won eight consecutive games for the first time since 2019. The Niners improved to 22-12 and 1 overall against Washington, including 13-4-1 mark at home and 2-0 at Levi's. The Niners improved to 9-3 in their last 12 games. Oh, well, that one doesn't matter. Jingle Bell Brock. We were coming up with all sorts of Christmas puns at the game for Brock Purdy. Purdy is one of 8 players since 1950 to register 2 or more touchdowns in each of their first career starts. Dan Marino, Mark Rypien, Rich Gannon, Kurt Warner, Billy Volk, and Jay Cutler and Marcus Mariota. Purdy joined Hall of Fame Dan Marino as the only quarterback since 1950 with at least 2 touchdown passes and a passer rating of 100 or higher in each of his first career 3 starts. With the win, Purdy becomes the first quarterback in franchise history to win the first 3 of his NFL starts, including the GOAT. With 2 touchdown passes, Purdy becomes the first quarterback since Kurt Warner in 1999 to win his first 3 starts and throw 2 or more touchdowns in each game. Purdy's the only rookie quarterback since 1950 to win his first 3 wins in the NFL. And Purdy is the first player since the 1970 merger to register 185 more passing yards, 2 more TDs, and a passer rating of 114 or higher in each of his 3 starts. Let me see. Hold on. There was one for Kittle Corn. He has a season high in. He has a career high in touchdown receptions with 8. And Bosa, his 17 sacks are the most, tied for second most in a single season with Fred Dean in franchise history, and the most since Aldon Smith, 19 and a half, which that is very gettable. Fred Warner has registered 100 or more tackles in 5 consecutive seasons. He becomes the fifth player in NFL since 2010 to register 100 more tackles in each of his first 5 seasons, joining Raekwon Smith, Tevin Smith, Bobby Wagner, and Luke Kuechly. And let me see. Robbie Gould is now the 8th most field goals made in NFL history, and Mike Kofer with in 4th all time in field goal points in franchise history. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Okay, go ahead, Jason.
I wonder if Robbie Gould gets selected to the Hall. If he goes in as a Bear or as a Niner. I found that meme.
He goes in as a Bear. It's clear. It's clear Robbie Gould wants to finish his career as a Bear. Okay. Debo in the backfield with Juice at tight end. Kittle in the middle in the slot with CMC lined up wide. Do it.
Nope. Oh, shit. Wrong button.
Trent Williams in at fullback. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Did you see the stats I put up when they compared
that,
Kelce to Kittle in their first 80 games?
No, I didn't.
So talking about Kittle, so here we go. Let's do this one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these stats over their first 6 seasons. And we're not even talking about the blocking ability that Kittle has that Kelce doesn't really have. And let's be honest, Kelce is nothing more than a big wide receiver.
Yeah, okay. Is Travis Kelce a better receiver than George Kittle? Probably.
Oh, yeah, he's a better
what's up, guys?
catcher. What's Ebo? How you doing, brother?
What's up, baby? How you doing? But I think he's used more as a receiver. But when you say best tight end, overall tight end, you know, in the NFL, it's George Kittle. It ain't even close. It ain't even fucking close. By the way, I just want to go ahead and get this out the way before I forget. Kittle Corn is a Kittle Corn MVP of the fucking week. 6 receptions, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns, which honestly should just be 1 because he stole 1 from Ray Ray. But that's because George Kittle
he stole 1 from Ray Ray. Did you see what he was talking about?
Kittle said I can't. No.
He was like, there was empty space, so I just said, with this offense, you're not supposed to go off because everything is spread. You're supposed to be in the right spot at the right time. Kittle's like, I just saw open space and I went there, and I was like, what the hell? It's like, and he admitted that. And I think Shanahan pissed off at him.
I'm so fired up for how George Kittle's been playing because there were certain people that won't be mentioned, a couple certain people that won't be mentioned, that is a George Kittle done. Should the 49ers trade George Kittle? Did the 49ers overpay for George? He fucking the best tight end in the league. Ever disrespect George Kittle? I just get so fired because it's just when Jimmy went down, it's just described, spreading the word, my guys. Thank you so much, Breb. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
Go Niners. Go Niners. Go Niners.
Bang,
and then we
bang.
gotta just subscribe for the word, God. Thank you so much. Bang bang. So it was clear why how many times did we say in 2019 that the Niners should just change their name to the San Francisco George Kittles?
Yeah.
You have the 4th and 2 shirt from New Orleans. I mean, how many plays, how many times does this man have to save the Niners whether it's a block, whether it's a touch, whatever we need George Kittle to do, he fucking does. When has he ever failed us?
George Kittle loves backup quarterbacks. Let's be perfectly honest. There is something about when a backup quarterback comes in, George Kittle just takes it to another. Like next year, we need to bring back, hire somebody else. Somebody gets hurt or just bench him for whatever reason. All of a sudden, Kittle's going to go off. Just
He's
him
just
and
gonna
backups.
just be a maniac.
Yeah, it's just like
You know what?
he wants starters to go down so he can go Super Saiyan level 3. That's what he wants. It's like he doesn't want to play the game unless it's on hard mode.
Hey, let's be real. Shanahan should just make a weekly tradition to call out one of our best players every week.
Right.
Apparently, Shanahan looked at Kittle and said, "We need more yak from you. You're not giving us enough yak." Well, is he giving us enough now, Kyle? Fucking challenges Bosa. Bosa basically, to me, just won the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, if he does not win that, I'm blowing something up, dude. Because that shit is.
It was somebody on Twitter. Richard Sherman and Joe Staley were roasting him. Somebody on Twitter that showed a play that he was getting screened and Bosa wasn't giving enough effort, and Micah Parsons had the same play and he gave all the way effort and made a tackle. It was Nick Bosa is the best. He's the best pass rusher in the NFL, but he's not the best defensive player. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. They need, you know what? And also, since I'm on my high horse right now, Nick Bosa, Bam Bam, MVP of the work, 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, and a forced fumble. I mean, what more does a
he
man
actually
have
had
to do?
3? He actually had 3, but he took for that stupid 2-point conversion. I was like, that's still a play. That's still a sack.
Truthfully, it would have been a half sack.
True, but still, you're adding.
It would have been a half sack. He would have had 2.5 sacks.
Yeah, but
he's
leading the league in sacks, and he missed a game.
I want to right. I want to say that it was the play that Jimmy Ward picked off, but it was one of the biggest holds I have ever seen in my over 30 years of watching Niner football. Like, it was ridiculous. Even my girl was like, really? It was so fucking ridiculous.
I remember that.
Like, I mean, it was. I may be wrong on the play, but I want to say that it was just so ridiculous. I mean, play after play after play, and as the game went on, I just started to feel like Nick Bosa ain't gonna let us lose this game.
So what is the
Nick
NFL record
Bosa,
for 21?
I believe it's 22, is it not? I don't think he's going to get the NFL
22
record.
and a half.
He's at what, 17 and a half now?
Yeah.
It's what?
That's 5. He's 5 sacks.
What's the NFL? What's the NFL record?
Half. 22 and a half.
22 and a half. So let me see. So that's 5 sacks. So 5.5 sacks to beat it. The Raiders give up. Give me a second. They're only giving up 29 sacks. Arizona, I mean, if he could have maybe 2.5, 2 this week, and then get another Trey Burger on Arizona, I think he could have 2-3 sacks against Arizona. I think that's very possible. Especially if he even plays, because let's be real, he might not even play that game.
Oh, I think you're going to have to pull Bosa out of that game with a truck if he's close to that. If he's close to that,
and they will
to that record.
Oh well, yeah. If he's close to the sack record,
he's especially in the first half.
Jed might be like, yeah. That's to me. Jed might just come down and say, "Look, there's only so much money I can put in escrow for this man. We can't afford him if he fucking breaks NFL sack leader, fuck around, be Super Bowl MVP, fuck around and be defensive player of the year. I mean,
So Arizona's given up
Nick-
41. And then the Raiders, where are they?
and the Raiders,
The Raiders
gave
have only
up
given up
29.
29.
I just pulled it up.
Yeah, they're not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he has. I would say 2 to 2.5 this game. If he gets 2 to 2.5, then you have to say he has a legit shot.
Yeah, if he
2
ties,
to 2.5.
if he
If
ties
he can
Alden,
get out to,
he has to.
yeah. If he ties Alden, then you say he has a legit chance. Maybe Arizona are just bitches and run every play. But
Yeah. Hey, you know what? As long as Michael Strahan honestly should not be on that list. TJ Watt
no,
should own that record by himself because
Yeah.
Strahan got 2 sacks from bullshit from Brett Favre, so he does not deserve to be. That should be taken
Yeah.
away from him.
I remember the last one he specifically slid down. I'll never forget watching.
Yeah,
the
he went straight.
and
I'm like, that is some
I think,
bullshit.
and he gave, and I think he gave Strahan a wink.
Yeah,
I think when he got up, he gave him a wink.
yeah, Brett, that was given to him, kind of thing. That was not like TJ
That
Watt.
was.
Obviously, he earned it. He played his ass off to get that.
Yeah.
one.
Shout out to the TJs, baby. But yeah, so
Yeah, I'm confident he breaks Alden at the very least. He needs 2.
yeah. I feel that Alden Smith's record, he 2.5 sacks to beat it, 20 sacks.
That's
I think that's
first quarter, baby.
That's very doable. That's first quarter. I would if it's not first quarter, it has to be like
Early third.
midway through fourth quarter. We're up a couple scores.
I'm saying mid third, he'll get it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You think DeMarco's? You think?
I mean,
he's gonna start running
depending on
extra
how
shit?
the game plays out. What happened?
You think DeMarco's going to start running extra, some sort of stunts and all that kind of stuff specifically to get Bosa that?
I mean, I feel Kyle kind of has to after you fuck Kittle for the record
Right?
in
Yeah,
2018
like,
against the
yeah.
Broncos.
Yeah, sorry, Kittle. You didn't
Like,
get
I
your
was at
record,
that
but
game.
let's
I'll never
get
forget
somebody.
that.
I was pissed. I
I
remember.
I'll never forget at halftime. I was putting in the little asterisk, note thing, to remind myself that when I was doing the post game show that day, to basically put in what the record was and basically see what Kittle had, by the end of the day. I'll never forget. Basically, put it in my phone like George Kittle's gonna break this record. Let me see what the actual record is. So my biggest takeaway from this game is that if there's a playoff game between us and Brock Purdy has some rookie moments, which he looked fine this game, I didn't feel that I felt the offense overall struggled, but I feel that was more that Washington D is pretty legit, and Chase Young is that dude. He's a damn dude, as Eric Davis would say.
Mm-hmm. He really is.
That's
Imagine him and
that's a
Bosa
game
playing on
that-
the same team. That's scary.
Oh my God. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? How do we not win the Super Bowl every year? Like
Well, no. They played at Ohio State.
That's what I'm saying. But if they were on the Niners together,
Oh yeah, but you're not getting that
how
kind
do
of
you
money to get those two guys.
I think. Oh yeah, you would never get that. But I think they might. Whatever the NFL record is for holding calls against players or for against a particular team, Chase Young and Nick Bosa would break that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the amount of holds that would be called where refs simply just say we have to call it. It happens so often that you gotta, and as a former offensive line, I understand you can call holding on every play.
Yeah.
And I
But we're talking
understand a
about
little bit of
completely
this is the
obvious.
NFL, make it through it.
Yeah, but we're talking about the completely obvious one.
But when the
You know,
man's
it's
getting,
just-
when the man is literally getting held by his neck like this, and you could see him going like this, I mean, for some of the ticky
Jersey's
tack calls I've seen on
Jersey's
Trent
stretched
Williams,
out to as far as it can go, and it's just like, come on, man, you got to call some of that bullshit.
the image of Nick Bosa's jersey after Super Bowl 54 will forever be burned in my brain.
Yeah.
They're like it's just anyway. Jason, overall thoughts of the game? I mean, was it just felt like a slug for 37 points? It felt like a slug of a game.
Well, we're bullies.
At least that first
Our
half,
team is
especially that
built-
first half.
Yeah. Well, our team is a bunch of bullies. You know, we're not flashy or anything like that.
Yeah.
We don't get out quick or anything like that. You know, say like the Chiefs do, or the Eagles do. Maybe even the Colts, or not the Colts, excuse me, but the Bills. But we have a slow burn, and by the end, like usually about the middle to the end of the third period, that's when we start getting to people. Because you know what, you're tired of getting beat up. You're tired. You know, you're just tired of being run over and over. And then you just kind of roll over and fall over. Yeah, Wentz came in and he had the one good drive, but let's be honest, we were in prevent defense by that point. You know, we weren't being as aggressive as we were before that. Yeah, exactly. But I will say that there's two people I want to give good props to because I know one of them, not everybody, like a lot of people are going to say this one is not, he doesn't deserve props, but Mike McGlinchey played his ass off. Yes, he had the two false starts on third down, but everything else he did that game, he was the lead blocker up on Ray Ray's touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He was out in front pushing everybody around. So, I mean, if you look at how he played, it's just – so he played, you know, what? How many offensive snaps did we had? And he had two bad ones. Look at what he did afterwards. Most people won't even realize that. It was just those two bad plays. And then the other one is, welcome back, Javon Kinlaw. When we stopped him on fourth down, he was eating up three people in the middle of the line. The man is back. You know, it's like he's only going to be part-time and on a pitch count probably until maybe the postseason. Let the man work back in his ways. So, I mean, it's good to see those two. Like I said, Kinlaw, I think, is the obvious one coming back. You could tell there was a difference with how there wasn't that push up the middle sometimes teams get. But then, like I said, McGlinchey played his ass off, except for those just two completely, those were terrible ones. I think Chase Young was the one that was lined up against him on those two plays, and so he's trying to get a step on him real quick.
Chase Young pretty much lined up against him pretty much all game.
Yeah. I mean, you're going up against basically Nick Bosa version 2. You know what I mean? I'd want to get a little bit of a head start if I could.
This is how I feel about Mike McGlinchey. Could he be upgraded? Yeah. Should we upgrade? Probably. Are we going to be able to upgrade? Probably not. Because there's only so much money when look, Nick Bosa is going to set NFL franchise, like the Niners will never have given out a contract like they're about to give out Nick Bosa this offseason.
Yeah. He's probably going to reset the entire market. Like, quarterbacks reset the market all the time. Nick Bosa is going to be the first defensive player to reset the entire NFL market when it comes to playing players. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's going to get quarterback type money.
There's not really a price I wouldn't pay for Nick Bosa.
No. Pocket, throw him stock in the team for throw part ownership.
To me, it's not a money issue. It's a language and the contract issue. It's opt-out dates. It's things like that will be the issue that holds up this contract.
Guaranteed
it will not be the money. The money is not going to be. It's not going to be the money. It's very clear that they're going to start off with a negotiation. Like, Nick wants to be here. We want Nick. Like, let's get this done.
I think when it comes to the table, you just kind of slide a blank check over there and say, "Fill this out, please." I don't think there's a negotiation. I think you just slide it over and be like, "Here you go, fill it out. We'll give it to you."
Nick Bosa will be a lifelong Niner. That's just it's.
I mean, unless someone offers him $700
and maybe contract length. Maybe contract length. Maybe that might hold it up a little bit too. But it's going to get done. It would be a fireable offense not to get it done.
I'd have some serious issues
But
if they don't re-sign Bosa.
yeah, you're talking about like a possible like not rebuild, but definitely a significant step back um to this overall football team because it's very clear we're meant to play playoff football, running game, close games, one possession games. You need an elite defense. Kyle is clearly fine. It's because of Brock Purdy. Whatever the reason is, Kyle is clearly more aggressive. And he's finally playing like he has the best defense in the NFL.
Yep. It's like he's finally figured out how to
He's
trust
finally
them for
playing
whatever
like
reason.
that. And you have to have Nick Bosa to do that. Because ultimately, yeah, could we I felt that it's touchdowns, field goals we don't need. Ultimately, did the secondary have issues on Saturday? Yeah. They did. Now I chalk that up to Washington has legit receivers. Their receivers are legit.
Yeah.
If they can find a legit quarterback, i.e. Jimmy, which by the way, Washington wanted Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy's going to the Jets.
But like if Jimmy's on this team, Washington would legitly be a threat.
Oh yeah, for this year, yeah,
maybe
completely
not championship threat, but they'd be a legit threat to make some noise. So that's what I chalk it up to. But you know why I think that we won that game and Terry McLaurin and everybody wasn't just allowed to run rampant? Because number 97 didn't allow it to happen. That's why. So
look
yeah,
at the game he had.
Remember when people were thinking about trading Nick Bosa for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember people
think
saying
we had a whole show just about that. I mean, like I said,
yeah, pretty much.
Well, we also didn't know about
and I remember
the behind the
clearly
scenes
saying,
stuff with Watson.
Yeah, well, yeah. And everything came out, and obviously everybody would say it now, but I was on the no, you don't trade Nick Bosa. Like, we'll get a core, like, fine. But you don't trade Nick Bosa. But now who knows? Maybe we do win. Maybe we win a Super Bowl if we have Deshaun Watson. We can never ultimately.
Well, I'm glad because I was in favor at the time
we'll never know.
of getting Deshaun Watson, and I am glad that I was not on the right on that one.
Hey, look. I mean, we could get into some of my epic. Bobby just messaged me. My bad, y'all. Yeah, ultimately, give me Jason, take over for 1 second.
Okay.
Just give me one.
When it comes to the Nick Bosa stuff, he's generational. He's not going to be there forever. I mean, or you're not going to see anybody else as good as him for quite some time. Let's also talk about the fact that, when it comes to money and paying players, we're still going to have, we've got Greenlaw signed up. Fred's taken care of. Who's going to play that? Are we going to keep going with Shaziz and other linebackers? Sorry, TJ's kind of putting me on the spot right now. Obviously, with
my bad.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. I'm back.
I just didn't know where to go with it.
So, yeah, no, it was some. I'll tell you off air.
No worries.
There's a reason my wall behind me is blank. Let's just put it that way. So
I was going to ask about that later too.
It's yeah. Ultimately, let's just say I made a big boo boo. Ultimately, Nick Bosa is a franchise. Like, I mean, he might go down as one of the greatest franchise defensive players. I mean, up
Yeah.
there with Ronnie Lott.
He has the
I
talent.
mean, obviously, I think most people would say, I mean, it's very possible that he can match Ronnie's rings. You know, I mean, I would definitely say the Niners are away. That's our quarterback for the next 20 years. Quarterback away from, I believe, going on a dynasty run.
The talent
shit,
is there.
we might do it
sure.
now.
Yeah, the talent
Definitely.
is there.
You would definitely see, and look, Brock Purdy. Look, Brock Purdy might be the answer.
Yeah.
You know, I do not want to discredit the man. I mean, I read you when you start reading not since 1950. Like, regardless of whatever you feel about the bait to go, there was somebody else. I think it was Otto Graham or somebody he picked, but he went to like 11 championship games in a row. You know, he said that's the GOAT to him. But wherever you stand on the GOAT conversation, we could all agree that the greatest quarterback has played, you know, since 1950 till now. The greatest quarterbacks in league history have all played in that time span. And they didn't do this shit. The last man literally picked in the draft. I mean, we all thought Tom Brady was a crazy story, and obviously he is. And I'm not saying this is what Brock Purdy would do, but
yeah, I mean, Brock would be a better one.
If Brock Purdy can win us a championship, it has to be the craziest story in NFL history.
Not to mention rookie season coming in after all the injuries and everything like that. That would be
coming like think about it. Like Kirk Warner is a little bit more of an underdog story, just kind of like he was bagging groceries type of thing. But the man wasn't even going to make the roster. The Niners' two quarterbacks were going to be Trey Lance and Nate Sudfeld.
Yep.
That it was determined.
You could pretty much set it in stone. That's what
Not
it was going to be.
only does he pretty much and makes it to the roster, right? Inactive, not even backup where you're getting like just not even ever thinking, not even active. Well, okay, for the first 2 weeks, not active. Then becomes the backup. Comes off the bench. You and I were there, Jason. I mean, like, comes off the bench. And then it's okay, hey, you know, when is the game? It was a closer game than we thought. You know, that Miami game was closer than it felt. Than it looked.
Yeah. There's a couple of big plays.
I mean, I think I won't say we can win because of Brock Purdy, but I will say we can win with Brock Purdy. And whether it comes from Kyle, whether it's because of Kyle and Kyle, man, I don't give a shit.
No, just win.
All right. All right. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Final thoughts, Jason?
Good, tough win. The offense took a little while to get going. You know, I think whatever adjustment they made at the halftime when they talked with Kyle worked out well, obviously. And then the defense is still this defense. This defense is still on record pace, you know, to go down as one of the best defenses in the history of the NFL right now. So, I mean, you know, and I don't know, are we going with Brock and roll, Brock sexual, or can I be a pervert? What are we going with here?
Pervert. I like Purdy, bro. I'm always gonna go with
Dirty Purdy, but you know, it's always something. We always gotta have some sort of nickname like that for our quarterbacks.
Brock sexual.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's dirty Purdy, baby. I mean, which by the way, I got a very basic Dirty Purdy shirt. I'm trying to change it up just because it is so basic, you know. Yeah. I'm trying to add some flair, so I'm struggling, but I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. All right. My final thoughts. I mean, it was I shouldn't say the first game, but it was definitely a game that made me feel like we could play a playoff team. We can win a playoff game. You know, we could beat them again. We could beat the Giants. we could win. Now we'll see what it comes to, playing Minnesota, playing the Cry Girls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down the line. But yeah, I definitely think that it would be a disappointing to say we go one and done this year. I think Brock Purdy is talented enough that it would be a disappointment to go one and done this year. All right, brother. We'll go ahead and we'll see you next week. They'll see
Friday.
you on Friday, but
Yep.
we'll see you next
Friday
week.
and
All right,
Sunday.
bro. Thanks for coming.
Deuces.
Yay. All right, y'all. So, thank you for tuning in today's show. Before we get out of here, go ahead and remind everybody to use the code Beat the Raiders to save 10% off of all season 2 for the Faithful by the Faithful apparel, exclusively available at NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop. Let's go. Come on. Help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our affiliate link from shop49ers.com. Link is available in the description of the podcast or video. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And make sure to catch Jamie and Jason on NFR Weekly News Wrap on Friday at 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. Catch our Week 17 game day shows. I'll be going live with the pregame at noon. Jason will be live at halftime, and Jamie will be live at 9 p.m. We shall see y'all next week. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
See ya.